Monday on The Late Show, Dave's got
Stand by,
Colin Farrell,
camera
plus
one.
The Late Show Oyster Challenge. And later this week, don't miss Kate Hudson, Brittany Murphy, General Tommy Franks, and Chris Rock. Now your local news.
Cure.
The Crawford County Sheriff's Department steps up patrols after 5 drive-by shootings. Vandals caused damage to trucks used in mine reclamations, and a new governor takes the oath in Indiana. The news is next.
If you suffer from some form of hearing, second one at half price. For more information on how you can hear what you've been missing out on, call Freeman Hearing Center today.
Rolling. Take it.
A Pittsburg woman reacts to bullets found in her home after a drive-by shooting. The story in our first 7 minutes. Researchers are trying to tap 2 billion barrels of oil in southwest Missouri. And trucks go bumper to bumper on Interstate 44. We'll tell you why.
Stand by one. I need a zoom, please. Zoom. Cure.
A big city-type crime shows its face in the 4 states
Stand by
in
to turn to camera 2.
drive-by shootings. Good evening,
Stand
I'm
by
Lisa
2.
Alligas. That story tops our first 7 minutes.
And cure.
Overnight, 5 residents from across Crawford County reported shots being fired at their homes.
I need that map.
The first report came to the Sheriff's Department at 1:25 this morning when several shots were fired through the door of a house on Jayhawk Street in Frontenac.
On the full
4
screen.
more incidents followed. On Main Street, west of Pittsburgh, 4 shots were fired at a residence and garage. Another report was made from South 270th, where 2 bullets were recovered, 1 shot through the kitchen window. A 4th on 240th and the 5th on East 520 Avenue, where a house and truck were shot.
Take it.
At 240th Street, a bullet went through the laundry room window of Sherry Van Dorn's home and struck her grandchild's backpack. Van Dorn lives in the house and has 4 grandchildren that stay with her. She said she didn't hear any vehicle driving by, but did hear a loud pop and wasn't sure what the sound was. When she looked at the window, she realized a bullet had just gone through. It wasn't until this morning when she discovered the bullet in the backpack of her grandson. Sheriff Sandy Horton says this situation is very upsetting, and he's stepping up patrols as part of the investigation. But Van Dorn says she's frightened because she has so many kids living with her.
Take the bite.
The whole thing about it is that's where my kids generally play, is in the room that the bullet went
30
into.
seconds, all of us.
My kids had been there, as tall as some mark, could have got them right in the head. That was my main concern.
How easy would that have been to strike somebody? You know, this is senseless.
30 seconds, all of us.
A very dangerous situation.
See y'all.
We're going to add patrols this evening and saturate the area as much as we can. And you know, we encourage anyone that knows anything regarding this case to please call us. And
Cure.
Sheriff Horton says they are continuing their investigation and are still trying to construct a timeline of when everything happened after the first home was hit. The Sheriff's Department is also investigating the theft of a 4-wheeler and vandalism to some trucks overnight. While not sure they're related to the shootings, the 4-wheeler was stolen on South 270th Street in the same neighborhood and was recovered a short distance away across the state line in Missouri. A little farther north, vandals caused extensive damage to haul trucks being used in a mine land reclamation project northwest of Arcadia. The vandals drove the trucks into objects and the pit area. Damage estimates aren't exact, but could run into the thousands of dollars. The military is investigating whether a Missouri state representative broke federal law by voting in the legislature while on leave from the National Guard. State senator, that is. Senator John Dolan, a Republican, cast the tie-breaking vote in the override of legislation that would allow Missourians to carry concealed weapons. Dolan is currently serving the Guard in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, but was granted leave by his commanding officer to fly back to Missouri and vote in the special veto session. The investigation by the Pentagon comes because someone holding public office who is in the military and deployed more than 270 days is not allowed to perform any duties of that office. Besides Democrats, National Guard support groups are voicing criticism, saying he was given special treatment.
Cure.
The University of Missouri is honoring late Governor Mel Carnahan by renaming the South Quadrangle after him. A ceremony was held Friday. The late governor graduated from MU's law school in 1959. Carnahan's widow, former Senator Jean Carnahan, and his son Tom attended.
Stand by 2.
Carnahan died in a plane crash nearly 2 years ago.
Cure.
A fatality accident that backed up traffic on Highway 65 near Springfield and on Interstate 44 was caused by an elderly man driving the wrong way. 75-year-old Raymond Tabor was killed when he ran under the trailer of a semi-truck trying to avoid him on U.S. Highway 65 near the 44 junction. An Independence, Kansas man is dead after his truck left a county road Friday afternoon, crossed back over, and flipped several times. 46-year-old Jeffrey Brewington was killed in the crash of his pickup. He was not wearing a seatbelt. An event to help raise awareness may have had you thinking you were in the way on Interstate 44 today. Southwest Missouri's first annual Special Olympics truck convoy included some 25 trucks blaring their horns this morning. The event could get them into the Guinness Book of World Records, but the goal was to raise money and awareness for Special Olympics. Each donated at least $100 to participate. Nationwide Special Olympics is holding convoys hoping to break a record for the largest convoy across the country. All proceeds go to benefit the athletes in Special Olympics. And Area Director Robbie Bryan says it's hard for truckers to get involved in fundraisers, and they thought this would be a perfect event to start here.
Take the bite.
This is their one thing
to
do.
What now?
Or you want to come out?
Clear.
With their trucks.
No. Stand by 2. Hold on.
It was fun.
And cure. Stand by camera 1. We got the weather here.
5 years ago, and this morning they had 500 trucks traveling in the area.
And cue them.
Well, they didn't have too much rain to drive in today, and the sun could come back soon, right, James?
That's right. We did have a little bit of peak of the sunshine today, and we'll have some more sunshine tomorrow. We're going to drop down to 55 degrees for your overnight low, but we'll bounce back and hit 73 degrees for your high. That's a little bit below normal, but we'll take it for this time of year. And taking a look at the next 7 days, on Monday's forecast, 79 degrees for your high, but check out Monday's low, 49 degrees. Awfully cool for this time of year. Then Tuesday, 81, Wednesday, 86, and a good chance of rain Thursday and a Friday. And the new models are suggesting a little bit cooler for next weekend with temperatures in the upper 60s for highs and lows in the middle 40s. So that's awfully cold. We'll have details, though, about tomorrow if you head up to the Chiefs game, that forecast, and also details about when our next rain chances are coming up in a little bit.
Time to break out the sweaters and jackets.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, James.
And cure.
You may not realize it, but right now you could be sitting on an oil reservoir. Researchers say there's oil in the 4 states, and now they're trying to figure out how to recover it.
There you go, easy.
KOAM's Karen Cruzen tells us how.
Roll G. Take it.
This may look like ordinary farmland, but beneath the surface there's more than just dirt. About 2 billion barrels worth of oil sits only 165 feet below the surface. And researchers and students from the University of Missouri at Rolla are trying to show farmers that their land can produce more than crops.
What we hope is that more of the farmers in the community will decide that they want to pursue this kind of project and they actually want to drill on this land.
This oil reservoir is the only one like it in the world. Researchers say oil is usually found at about 2,000 feet below ground. But this oil is so close to the surface, it has problems.
Because it's so shallow, there's very little reservoir pressure, which means there's little driving force to get it out of the ground. That's one problem, but the other problem is that this oil tends to be more viscous. It's called what's called heavy oil. Now, it's not ultra heavy, but it just makes it a little harder to recover.
30.
That's why this group is applying a technique to the ground called hydraulic fracturing, creating a crack in the rock below. And if it works, the oil should flow more freely. Researchers say it's not likely all 2 billion barrels can be recovered, more like 5%, but that could still help the state's economy.
All we're trying to prove at this point is
10 seconds,
it can be produced in an economical manner that somebody can actually make profit doing it.
In Nevada, Karen Cruzen, KOAM News.
Cure.
Researchers say it will be about 6 months before they know whether their work will pay off. When and if they are successful, they plan on holding workshops to teach landowners how to get started.
And cure.
That's news and weather in our first 7 minutes. Just ahead, the latest on hostilities in Iraq and on Colin Powell's meeting with members of the UN Security Council on governing that country after the war.
Roll it and take it. Cool.
Live from KOAM TV.
Shot and stay.
Lisa Oligas. James Hudzinski with Skywatch 7 Weather. And Richard Smith Sports.
Okay. Let's see here.
Want to know a secret?
Pack.
Now with a 345 horsepower, 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum. Now get 0% financing or $2,500 cash allowance on Ram Heavy Duty. See your local Dodge dealer to get the best values in America.
Stand by 2. Cure.
Iraqis are angry at Americans and cursing the occupation of their country. Mourners swarmed the central city of Fallujah after 8 Iraqi policemen were killed in a friendly fire incident involving U.S. troops. The military apologized for the shooting that also killed a Jordanian security guard, but troops opened fire after first being attacked. U.S. forces are on alert in the town of Tikrit after a U.S. military convoy was attacked with rocket-propelled grenades from a taxi. The attack left an Iraqi killed and 2 others wounded. Secretary of State Colin Powell says he's encouraged by progress with the 5 veto-wielding members of the UN Security Council on how to govern the Iraqi people. Stephanie Lambadakis reports on his meeting in Geneva.
Roll H. Take it.
It was a personal appeal from the Secretary General of the United Nations which brought key members of the Security Council to Geneva to try to find some way to settle their dispute over sharing power in the building of post-war Iraq.
Consensus is essential and achievable.
Clear.
But consensus is not enough.
Yeah, this is standard. I edited it.
The Council's approach must be coherent and well-defined.
But that is far from the case. Secretary of State Powell faces opposition from the French, who along with the Germans are demanding that the U.S. swiftly turn over power to the Iraqis, an idea Powell rejects as unrealistic since as yet there is no real Iraqi government in place.
It has to be functioning in a way that the people will respect it. The worst thing one can do is to set them up for failure.
Powell says the U.S. is committed to a power handover, but sometime down the road. For now, the Bush administration wants to keep things the way they are, with American troops fully in charge. They want the allies to contribute money and troops without a decision-making role. That's something the allies so far have been unwilling to accept.
It's hard for them to persuade their publics to send their troops to a dangerous situation, to give lots of money to a chain of command on the political side where the Americans are completely in charge.
The meeting broke up with smiles for the cameras, but there is still a lot of work to be done. Secretary Powell is heading to Iraq tonight to meet for the first time with Iraq's Governing Council to assess for himself how much they are willing and able to start running things. Stephanie Lambadakis, CBS News, Washington.
Joe Kernan is now governor of Indiana, taking oath just a few hours after the death of Governor Frank O'Bannon in the Chicago hospital. Indiana Supreme Court Justice Theodore Bem swore in Kernan as the state's 48th governor. Kernan said he and all Hoosiers had lost not only a governor, but a friend in O'Bannon. The 73-year-old Democrat died 5 days after suffering a massive stroke. Kernan served as lieutenant governor under O'Bannon, who first took office in 1997.
Music.
Fall may not officially be here, but it sure feels like it. James has our cooler forecast coming up.
Roll it. Take it.
It doesn't get any better.
All right, stand by for the open.
Now,
stand by
James Hudzinski with Skywatch 7 weather featuring Doppler 7000.
You're up.
Good evening, everyone. We had a few showers early this morning. Then things began to clear up in the 4 states. Then we had some more clouds come into the 4 states. But unfortunately, those clouds are going to be gone coming into tomorrow. Outside right now, though, we do still have some clouds in the 4 states, and that trend will continue at least through probably about 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning. Then things begin to clear out here in the region. But for right now, the skies are mostly cloudy, and the roadways are dry, and temperatures are in the lower 60s. How hot did we get here in the 4 states today? Well, due to the cold front moving through, some temperatures were quite low across the 4 states. We had 74 in Joplin, 75 in Pittsburg, 72 in Parsons, 70 in Chanute. Check out Yates Center in Neodesha, 67 degrees. Very cool for this time of year. We're supposed to be at around 80 degrees. Temperatures right now awfully cool as well. 68 degrees in Joplin, 62 in Neosho, 62 in Jasper, 64 in Nevada, and on our Kansas side, 57 in Chanute, 59 in Neodesha, 58 in Yates Center. I would not be surprised to see some locations on our Kansas side especially getting down to near the lower 50s, possibly even the upper 40s tonight. And to take a look at our radar picture right now, you can see a lot of rain here near Kansas City area. They put it into motion for you. You see that basically this low pressure system is moving off to the east. A line of showers and thunderstorms did develop off to east of Joplin, but those are also pushing off to the east. We are experiencing some of that clearing, and that clearing will come into the 4 states tomorrow.
Hope he kicks it. Hope he hits it right this
now,
time.
Though, take a little bit closer vantage point of our radar picture and put that in motion. You see the showers and thunderstorms are diminishing. We do a little bit in Neosho County and a little
that's
bit
what
in
he did
last
Saturday.
That's
too.
about it here
Was
in
he
the 4
last
states.
Saturday? Yeah.
And I think things are going to begin to clear up.
He did
that
like
rain chances for tonight. Do we expect any more rain? Well, I think our chances for rain are going to diminish as well. The rain is going to push off to the east. We'll have partly cloudy skies on tap for tomorrow, and with temperatures in the lower 70s. Very pleasant for this time of year.
I never got to look up and see what he was doing. Yep, here we go
tomorrow,
again.
Steelers versus Chiefs. That's right, folks. We do have the forecast for that, and the forecast looks to be awfully cool as you head up to there tomorrow morning.
You can't see it?
In the lower 60s. When kickoff hits tomorrow, we'll expect partly cloudy skies for the game with a temperature of 68 degrees. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And hopefully tomorrow, Morton Anderson, if he needs to, can kick the game-winning field goal like we tried last week. Let's try. Oh, I timed it wrong again. Maybe next week I'll get it right. But Morton Anderson will probably get it right tomorrow. Our forecast for tonight, we're going to drop down to 55 degrees for overnight low. Some clearing after midnight. I think most of the 4 states will be clearing up around 4 o'clock in the morning. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy in the afternoon and cool. 73 degrees for overnight low.
I saw Chad Andrews last night.
Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And checking out the next 7 days. The next 7 days are going to be starting to warm up slightly. 79 on Monday, 81 on Tuesday, 86 on Wednesday. Then a good chance of rain as another cold front comes through Thursday and Friday. And check out next weekend's temperatures, Lisa's. High in the upper 60s, lows in the middle 40s. That's cold. That's unseasonable. We're supposed to be at about 80 degrees for high, 60 degrees for a low. So time to get out the sweaters again, possibly by next week.
Watch, we'll probably end up having a really warm October.
Yeah, I think maybe.
All right, thanks, James.
Cure music.
Missouri Southern hopes its first game on the new turf at Fred GU's will lead to its first win. And the Gorillas get defensive in a big showdown with St. Cloud State. Richard is next with sports.
Take it.
Now, Pumpkin, I know how much you love
for the money.
Stand by one. Cue him.
Good evening. Tonight, Carney Smith Stadium was the site of maybe the biggest game so far in the entire Division II football season. Number 6 St. Cloud State came to town with the top offense in D2, but 7th-ranked Pitt State proved that sometimes the best offense is a good defense. Aaron McConnell getting his teammates fired up to tangle with that Husky offense, and whatever he said, it worked. Second play of the game, Keith Heckendorf gets Ed DeShazer in the flat. Jimmy Taylor rocks the ball loose. Noah Hoppy recovers deep in St. Cloud territory. Very next play, Neil Philpott, great play fake. Puts it up top for the speedster. Jermaine Carpenter takes it all the way in for the score. 8-0 Gorillas after an Andy Majors conversion run, and Carpenter, he's pumped up with good reason. Next St. Cloud drive, Heckendorf, quick throw. Mark Steven bats it up in the air. Chauncey Jones makes the pick. Big fella sheds a tackle, finally brought down inside the 10-yard line. 3 plays later, Philpott again off play action, rolls, finds Ryan Hellwig, makes the catch, stretches for the goal line, and gets it. 15-0 Gorillas. Hellwig hurts his knee on the play, torn MCL, not sure yet how long he's out. Still first quarter, Heckendorf being chased, unloads it, pass gets tipped. Watch this, Chad Miller scoops it off the turf for the interception. Heck of a play, sets the offense up with more great field position, and Philpott takes advantage, pinballs his way into the end zone to make it 25-0 Gorillas, still in the first quarter. Second quarter, Philpott throwing. Tim Austin is a man without fear. Gets undercut, but still makes the grab for 19 and a first down. Next drive, Philpott gives to Jermaine Race, goes right, has nothing, reverses field, has something. 17 yards for the true freshman, to be precise.
Yeah, I know.
That sets up another Philpott touchdown run. And the Gorillas just smack around the nation's number 16, winning 46-14. The Gorillas force 5 turnovers by that top offense, including 4 Heckendorf interceptions. Jermaine Race runs for 75 yards on 13 carries, 43 more rushing yards for Philpott, and it's a big win for the Gorillas because St. Cloud is a regional opponent. Remember, wins over regional foes count extra in the playoff rankings.
Take it.
Missouri Southern looking for win number 1 in its home opener against Northeastern State. First game on the new Sprint turf. First quarter, Redmond deep in their own end. Craig Fulton looks like he's going to get the first down here. Robert Spinks comes out of nowhere for the stop, forces the punt. Defensive battle in the first half. The two teams trade punts after that. DeMarcus Mathis takes this one, dances his way deep into Northeastern State territory. A little bit of cha-cha, a little sachet there. That's some tango he's showing off. Takes it down into Redmond territory. That sets up Nate Proctor on the sweep. Bulls his way into the end zone to make it 7-zip Lions, but a lazy late touchdown pass rallies Northeastern State to the 15-10 win. Southern now 0-2. Pittsburg High product Dylan Meyer has been billed as K-State's quarterback of the future, but that future might be sooner rather than later. With El Roberson out with a wrist injury injury. Meyer got some action today behind new starter Jeff Schwinn. Schwinn's first career start, an easy one, taking on 1AA UMass. Cats trailing 7-3 in the second. Schwinn rolls out, fires the dart through traffic to Brian Casey. 7-yard strike gives K-State a 10-7 lead. Second quarter, Schwinn pitches to Darren Sproles, gets the corner, gets the touchdown to make it 17-7 Cats. Still second quarter, same play, opposite direction this time. Sproles tiptoes down the sidelines for the score, 152 yards for Darren today, and the Cats win 38-7. Meyer hits one of two passes for 27 yards, adds an 8-yard scoring run for KSU. Upset brewing as number 6 Texas plays host to Arkansas. First quarter, Chance Mock back to throw. Perfect strike to B.J. Johnson on the corner pattern. Horns score first, 7-0, but the Razorbacks respond. Matt Jones off play action, zips it back across the middle to George Wilson, tying the game at 7 apiece. Third quarter, Cedric
I'm at deep by Mizzou. This ain't Mizzou, is it?
Nothing but green grass after that. 46
Whoa, I'm lost here.
14 Arkansas. Jones with 242 total yards as the Razorbacks shock the Horns 38-28. Elsewhere in the Big 12, Jason White throws for 332 and
you're up. Hold on, dude.
As top-ranked Oklahoma outscores Fresno 52-28, and Oklahoma State moves to 2-1 with a 35-3 beating of Southwest Missouri State.
One more board.
Mizzou overcomes a sluggish start to beat Eastern Illinois 37-zip.
There it is.
Brad Smith with 236
All right, stand by one. You're fine, Mike.
And Bill Whittemore throws 4 TD passes. Kansas now 2-1.
I jumped ahead, evidently.
42-35.
Cue him.
If you're trying to win a tight pennant race late in the season, there are certain things you just can't do.
I don't know what I did wrong there. Stand by H.
Tigers and Indians are the top 2 things on that list. The Royals needing a big weekend to avoid making that costly blunder. KCRA dropped game 1 to the Tigers last night. Jamie Wright looking to atone today. 5th inning, Carlos Beltran finds a gap on the right side.
Video the board.
3-zip Royals, and Wright brought the good stuff. Hooks Warren Morris to end the 5th. Then Wright freezes Carlos Pena in the 7th. Complete game shutout, 7 Ks for Jamie. And Carlos Beltran puts some icing on the cake with the 2-run home run. Royals win 7-zip to stay 3.5 within Chicago and Minnesota's lead. Cardinals take on the Astros in a crucial NL Central Series. Matt Morris gives up just 2 runs in 7 innings, but Roy Oswalt pitches 7 scoreless.
I just saw him doing that twice.
Houston stays even with Chicago in the NL Central. Cards fall 4.5 back to lead. Quick softball scores to share. Joplin wins a doubleheader.
You don't have 4 for that day. All right,
4-2 and 2-1. Congratulations to Kirk Harriman's crew.
Lots of sports action.
Big day, big win for the Gorillas.
Yes, there is. All right, thanks, Richard. Just ahead, they're not tackling each other in Carterville. Instead, we'll show you highlights of Good Neighbor Days next.
Roll it and take it.
Does your local dealership only have a limited number?
All right, stand by for music. Larry, music. Ooh, okay, stand by for music. Hit it.
That's too low. Just
change. Zoom out a little bit. Needs a little time. Change. 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 Hit it. Stand by 1. Bay tunes. Cure.
The good nature of the event may have led to the sun breaking through in time for Carterville's annual Good Neighbor Days.
Take it.
The sun was out and residents walked around enjoying a Saturday afternoon outside. There was plenty to eat and booths to check out with various items to look at. 2 stages with musical events and a play area were available for children. A baby contest, of course, and cakewalk were some of the highlights of the day. The theme this year was One Nation Under God, something residents say is a tribute to those who can't be here and for those serving overseas.
Roll H. Take the bite.
A lot of the things that were going on in the United States.
Clear.
And we wanted to let our veterans know that we are thinking about them and really appreciate what they are doing for us.
Cue them. It's not your
fault. Good Neighbor Days will conclude with a street fair at 11:30 tonight. Now let's check in with James for a look at our weather.
And he's up.
A little sunshine today, a little more tomorrow, and a great day to play some football. 73 degrees for your high, then the upper 70s and lower 80s for the first part of your work week, but then a cold front moves through, dropping our temperatures into the upper 60s.
Thanks, James. Final check on sports.
Pitt State, huge win tonight, 46-14 over the number 6 team in the nation, St. Cloud State. Missouri Southern, unfortunately, not so
fortunate.
Stand by
D,
they fall to Northeastern State by the final of 15-10, so the Lions now 0-2, but Pitt State 2-0. Big thumbs up to them on a good effort tonight.
We can tell you're excited.
All
right, thank you.
Game.
Well, saying he's truly excited and scared silly,
hold on, dude. Stand by D with Nat.
Host David Letterman made a big announcement on his show. Here it is.
Take it. Bring it up. I didn't hear it. Cure.
Letterman announced last night his girlfriend, Regina Lasko, is pregnant.
Well, you gotta have this
now talking about marriage. At age 56, Dave joked he'll probably be dead by the time his kid starts making trouble. Pretty soon, we can expect a top 10 list of names for newborns.
And cue him.
I like Mujibur or Sirajul. I think one of those would be a good child name for him.
Hard to believe.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Whoa.
You know, kind of
all right, hold that there.
guy. Maybe it'll make him.
Exactly. Maybe it'll lighten him up, you know? Or maybe it'll make him a lot
music.
more grouchy. You
Maybe.
never know.
Never know. That wraps up our news on this Saturday night. We'll see you tomorrow evening.
Music.
If you see news happening, call KOAM News on your U.S. cellular phone by dialing #7.
Give it copyright. Stand by VR. Roll it. Take it.
Salon services provided by Energy.
That was a good show, guys.